Welcome to the learning series of Englishwood, and today I'm going to give you a short introduction about direct speech and indirect speech. This lesson will only give you a primary idea about direct speech and indirect speech. Alright, so let's learn what is speech. Speech is a discourse, it is a saying, it is speaking, it's a talking. This speech is made of words or it's a language, all right? We are mainly concerned with the reporting, all right? So we report the words of a speaker, language of a speaker, okay, saying, speaking, talking, a discourse of a speaker in two ways. Number one, we say the actual words of speakers, and this is called direct speech. When we say the actual words of a speaker, this is direct speech. Okay, it is in the form of dialogue. Okay, and it can be in the form of dialogue. Whereas number two is we report, or we may report what he or she said without using the exact words of the speaker, and this is called indirect speech, and it is in the form of reporting, therefore it is also known as the reported speech. All right, so let's see the example. All right, the direct speech in the form of dialogue. Let's say Rasul, hi Suza, how are you? And Suza says, I'm pretty well, I'm preparing for the exam. Rasul, that's great, you're really a good student. And all right, indirect speech, look at this one, same thing. Okay, Rasul is actually talking to Suza. Okay, now you can report this like this: Rasul asked Suza how she was. So okay, so why you have used asked, why this change is she, why change was. Okay, so everything we will learn in the coming lessons. Suza replied to Rasul that she was pretty well. Okay, I am pretty well. Okay, so that means Suza said I'm pretty well. Actually, Suza has replied to Rasul. Okay, so reporting verbs are used, okay, in that, okay, sense. Suza replied to Rasul that she was pretty well, and she also said, or she also added that she's I am changes into am changes into she was preparing for the exam. All right. So then Rasul praised her that she was really a good student. Okay, then Rasul said, "That's great. You're really a good student. That's great. We don't need to change. Okay, that's praised. Okay, so this kind of reporting verbs are important. We'll learn in the coming lessons. Look at the differences. So same thing. Okay, the above. Okay, the above speech. Okay, of the speakers could be reported as follows. Okay, number A. Rasul said to Suza, hi Suza, how are you? This is the one way of reporting. Okay. The next number is Rasul asked Suza how she was. This is another way of, okay, reporting the same, okay, speech of the speaker. Similarly, Suja said to Rasul, I'm pretty well, I'm preparing for the exam. Now it can be reported, Suja replied to Rasul that she was pretty well, she added that she was preparing for the exam. And similarly, Rasul said to Suja, that's great, you are really a good student. Then Rasul praised her that she was really a good student. In this way, you can see in the each pair. First one is direct speech, okay? We can quote the actual word of the speaker as we said at the beginning, and next one is indirect speech. Okay, we report what somebody said to someone else. Okay, and there are certain changes. Then okay, so next pair again, Suza said to Rasul, I am pretty well, and pretty so same thing what has been said by the speaker inside the quote. All right, inside the quotation marks, but it can be reported by saying this one. All right, and again same thing. Okay, we can report directly by saying that's great. Okay, same sentence spoken by the speaker, but we can report in the reported speech. We say Russell praised her that she was really a good student. Okay, so these are the two ways of reporting, and that's what we have to learn in the coming days, okay, on the basis of different rules and regulations. Rules for changing direct speech into indirect speech. Let's see this one. These are the very primary rules. There will be change of tense. You have noticed previously. In each cases, present tense changes into past tense and past tense changes into past perfect tense. Similarly, there is change of person. Person means the first person, second person, third person, 1 to 3. Then S is subject, O is object, N is no change. So first person changes according to the subject, I changes into according to the subject, you changes into according to object, and he, she has no change. We can see in the examples in the coming episodes. There is a change of time adverbials. For example, today changes into that day, tomorrow the next day, and so on. Okay, with these things, right? Then there will be change of punctuations. Okay, all the punctuations change into full stop. There are certain cases when there's no change of tense also. Okay, so everything we'll learn in the coming lessons. So we have to know specific rules in the coming lessons also, in order to understand to change the direct speech into indirect speech clearly and perfectly. All right. So you have to know the types of sentences. On the basis of types of sentences, you have to use the reporting verbs, okay, and you have to use the connections. These are very important part of changing direct speech into indirect speech. For example, the first type of sentence is statement or assertive. Okay, so assertive types of sentence and statement type of sentence use the said in the direct speech, and when you are reporting, you have to use said or replied. When there is said to, you have to change into told to, okay, and you have to use that as the connective. That is very important. Okay, we'll learn in the next episode. Number 2, interrogatives. Interrogatives are the question types of sentences. There are two types. One is yes no type of questions, and another is WS type of questions. Okay, in each case, said is used in the direct speech, and it changes into ask or inquire in the indirect speech, or sometimes it changes into wanted to know on the basis of the nature of the sentence. Said to changes into asked. All right, and if or whether is used to connect the sentences. Similarly, if and whether are used for the yes no questions, whereas WH words or phrases are used for the WS type of questions. Finally, another type of sentence is imperatives. Okay, imperative sentence. In the imperative types of sentence, said to changes into requested or asked for request. Similarly, said to changes into told for general remarks. Said to changes into advice for advice. If advice is given there, it can be changed into suggested also. It can be changed into order or commanded. It can be changed into forbid, prohibited, or urged on the basis of type of sentences. And as a connectives, you have to use to for the affirmative type of sentences, and for the negative types of sentences, you have to use not to. So what do they mean? All, okay, everything we'll learn one by one in the coming lessons. Okay, and that's all for today's lesson. Okay, thank you very much for your patience and watching this video. Coming soon reporting statements. Okay, share, comment, and subscribe to get the forthcoming videos. Thank you very much.